Hey guys, welcome to The Nuance. I'm Ian. We're back with more Superman and Lois. So last episode, more sadness. They really doubled down on the heartache and the bringing you to tears. Especially in the beginning with showing Sam, finding out his daughter's got cancer. So that was fun. Finding out a little bit more about what Bruno's up to. Not exactly like what. Not too much, except that he's got Superman's blood, apparently. Not sure if he's replicated it, or he's just found a lot of it, or maybe all the samples weren't his. I'm going to assume for now that they were. I don't think we saw onomatopoeia last episode. I don't recall. Let's see, we got the kidlets. They were having their own little side mission. Did really good, very efficient. Again, not 100% sure why Jonathan, apart from he was the only one that they could see, like that. I mean, with John Henry, with Natalie, wouldn't have been a big deal. She's got a suit on. I understand Jordan, because don't want to reveal who he is just yet, especially because Clark told him no. So, but I mean, again, and Jonathan did pretty good on his own. They clocked that one dude pretty good. Got his truck back. Assumedly he's told, Candice what happened. Just maybe we'll see how she's acted. How she's how she's dealing with that. Because that can be hard to find out. And Lois, after a couple times of missing her poor chemotherapy. That was really weird. Her chemotherapy. She finally is going to go begin, treatment. And, I'm assuming we're going to be seeing the progress of her decline for a bit, and hopefully getting through this. Again, not sure if getting through this will be like the chemotherapy or whatever Bruno Mannheim is doing, so... Oh, thunder. Hey yo, Superman, where you be at? Okay. We don't have to have Jonathan here on this, maybe?
It's your mom.
Dad, I can handle this. I'll yell if anything happens.
Start with the perimeter and you work your way in. Be careful.
Dude, this is mine! One day, you have 1,000 jobs.
Not in this color, all right? I told you.
What is wrong with you two?
He stole my hoodie. It's not his.
Both of you stop right now. Your mother just had her first round of chemo yesterday. Today, she needs to recover in peace and quiet. So what she's not going to listen to all day is the two of you up here fighting over a sweater. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Great. Off you go. Godspeed. If you need something, text me, not your mom. Do not bother your mother with anything.
Idiot. Dumbass.
Well, I like their coordination, though. red and blue with both of them.
We're not doing that today. No researching, no emailing, no phone calls. Today is officially rest day.
Mannheim has your blood, Clark.
Yeah, and he'll still have it tomorrow. So, what are we gonna binge? I was thinking Alien Ancestors.
I have enough aliens in my life.
All right,
I was
all
thinking Forensic Confessions.
She went to talk to Dr. Irons? Lois, talk to my sister. Why would you do that? Darlene already lost her brother. She doesn't need to get dragged into this.
Hey, John. Is everything okay?
Yeah.
Nothing that can wait. I need to get back to the shop. Feel better.
She's not gonna like that they're treading on eggshells around her.
You stole my truck.
What'd you say?
You stole it. And you took it to a chop shop. Look, I know it was you. You had my mom's watch.
Better shut your mouth.
Oh, what? You don't want everyone hearing that you're a crap dad?
I don't like liars. Keep it up. You'll get more than my fist.
Why are we stopping here?
You and I need to talk.
Uh-oh.
Take a look.
Was he noticed? You.
These from last night?
See anything there you should be alarmed about?
I mean, my hood fell down for like a second, but you can't even see my face.
I can see your hair, which is why you're getting it cut.
Oh.
Now, this is about you being responsible enough to be a hero.
Like, you even know what that means.
All right. Well, he's...
Disrespect me like that. I'm a 4-star general in the U.S. Armed Forces.
I was gonna say, but I mean, like, I mean, you wear a hat or a, swimming cap.
That looks like more than an elbow. Did you get into a fight?
No, okay? Just stop. It's fine.
Jonathan, what aren't you telling me?
Dad said not to bother you today.
He said that?
Okay, no, this isn't helping, okay? Just...
Jonathan just came home with a black eye the size of Australia.
Was he gonna fight?
Probably, I don't know. He wouldn't tell me because you have him acting like I'm too fragile to handle it, which is exactly what I didn't want to have happen. I am a mother and a wife and a reporter. Cancer doesn't change me. Telling people to treat me differently is not okay.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I've been looking into how Mannheim got his hands on your blood.
Uh-oh.
And?
Doctor?
It came from the DOD.
Oh!
How is that even possible?
When you were hospitalized after Allie Alston attacked you.
Oh, the DOD took my blood while I was unconscious?
They were trying to save your life. It was medically necessary.
At that time. What have they been doing with it since then?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
Did you hit my son? Don't look at him, look at me.
Listen, whatever story he may have told.
Don't you dare call my son a liar, you miserable coward.
Watch your tone.
The only reason I am not calling the sheriff is because of your daughter.
Don't think I won't lay hands on a woman.
Men like you don't scare me.
Maybe I need to teach all three of you a lesson.
Mom? We should go.
You stay away from my family.
Didn't batter an eye, asshole.
Get in the car. We'll talk about this more when your dad gets home.
Mom? Okay? Mom?
What happened?
We went to talk to Candice's dad.
He's the one who hit you?
And stole my truck. He threatened Mom with a gun.
It's fine, Clark. I handled it.
Oh.
This is not a job for Superman.
He's not going.
Oh. I want to see this.
Rumblings last year. But he just wouldn't listen. How smart are you?
Go to hell. I'd really rather not do this in front of your daughter.
You think she hasn't seen this before?
Now, if you ever threaten my family again, I will come for you. Okay? And my wife will expose who you really are, and you will go away for a very long time. Now leave.
Candice. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt everyone's dinner.
I've located the explosive.
Oh, yeah, and this stuff. For a second, I completely forgot. I'm sorry.
Okay. I used biometrics to kill a switch. Is it fingerprints? Fingerprints.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm sorry, darling. I'm so sorry. I should kill you right now. But you won't. You don't know me. I know your family, though. And not just that sister of yours here in Metropolis, but the whole family down in New Orleans. Anything happens to me, they all die. My people are just waiting for the order.
You sure about this? Her staying here?
It's just until she finds something permanent. This is going to be a horrible disaster.
Well, you know.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I love you.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah, me
God dang it. This almost hurts. This almost hurts more. You know, you go back, kid.
I shouldn't have spoken to you like that.
Gonna be honest with you, son. What you said really hurt my feelings. There was a time when I would not have admitted that, but it's true.
Well, you didn't deserve it.
After you ran off, I got to thinking about what it's like to be your age. How everything seems so damn important,
Yeah.
especially how you look. And even though I believe you'd benefit from a nice trim, maybe there's another option.
Like what?
Mask or bald cap? Or not bald cap, but...
My team put together something
Oh!
that should keep that hair of yours in check.
Ooh! I want to see it. That's
This is
sick.
awesome.
I want to see it.
It's,
Just already it looks
not
cool.
even the best part.
Mask?
These belonged to my dad. He flew a P-38 Lightning over Berlin in the
Oh,
Second World War.
cool.
Even earned a Flying Cross.
It's kind of
Well,
like
you
a
have
noir
it.
Spider-Man.
Grandpa.
Plus, I think
And it's
they'll
also
tie
really
together
sweet.
the whole outfit. Can't have my grandson not looking sharp out there.
Oh, I'm so dumb. Also, Superboy. I forgot he wore goggles too sometimes. In some iterations.
Maybe I should have another talk with Bruno.
Not before I set up security measures that keeps Darlene and the rest of my family safe.
How much time do you need?
A couple weeks. Then we'll figure out a way to go after Mannheim.
Actually, I already have one. His hospital. If I sign up as a chemo patient there, I would be right in the middle of Hops Bay.
Looking firsthand into what he did to Henry Miller.
And getting treatments from a place controlled by Mannheim.
That he has spent millions promoting as the best facility in the country. He's not going to let anything bad happen to me there. It's too public.
Damn. Damn, Lois.
Clark, I promise.
This is
he is still the
very scary, though.
You need to know what she wants.
Got someone in mind to help out with that?
I do. Me.
Oh no, not there. You're rude. Okay, go. All right, man, oh man, okay. God dang it, Lois. Ugh. I mean, she's doing everything she needs to do. You know, she's taking care of herself. She's getting her treatment done, while also basically being smack dab in the middle for investigating Bruno, being in a good spot to try to suss out some information, details on what he did to this John, what he's possibly figuring out, like, or at least get a better intel on what he's up to now. It's a little worrisome, though. God. I mean, even he said, like, you know, if I want to take it out, I will set it up myself. There's a bug behind me and I don't like it. It's annoying. And now it's in front of me. I'm sure there's definitely a way he could do it, like, quietly to where blame maybe not be put on him. But considering, like, yeah, it does make it a little bit harder, I'm hoping, that she's going at a place he's publicly, advertised as, the best hospital, one of the best hospitals. So, it's not a bad plan. It's not bad. It's just, oh, man. All this episode, family stuff, top marks. All of it was good. All of it handled way better than CW has any right to do. Because, like, I mean, this is definitely like the way they look. I've loved. I'm trying to think now. All of them. I really love like the CW Arrowverse stuff. You know, like even the bad, even when with the bad seasons, as a whole, still enjoyed all the shows. I think, but even the best shows, even the best of the seasons, a lot of times there's always that drama that's just like, But Superman and Lois have always dealt with it the best. Like it's always been written the best, and of all the Arrowverse and just CW shows in general. I feel like I haven't seen much of CW stuff other than the Arrowverse stuff. I know of what's it, Riverdale. I know that's a lot more gritty and drama than Archie's Weird Mysteries was, because everything was just weird. And I mean there was some kind of dark stuff in that show, but it was also kind of just a comic goofy bit of goofiness to it. This the show's a lot more drama, or dramatized and gritty and all that stuff, and kind of like high school drama and certain things. Again, I don't know much about it, but but I'm just, what I'm getting at is, if I can talk right, this show's consistently written the family conflicts and interactions and arguments really well. Like they're the reason they get into arguments, valid. The points that they make, most of the time, both valid. Like, and when they're not valid, you understand why that person thinks that way, though. Like, one, again, there's the whole teenager, there's like Sarah, that stuff, she's a teenager, and also, not only that, again, being in the middle of a divorce sucks. Like, even in, when their parents were having conflict when they were still together, like, they were still together. It's, I guess, and probably didn't have that, like, notion of, like, my parents are going to split up. Maybe that was there, but she might not have been taking it seriously, or seeing it as an inevitable possibility, or as a solid thing. Excuse me, sorry. But then after that, after everything was fine, things were working out, they were happy, and then all of a sudden, divorce. Not all of a sudden, you know what I mean? Like, things are revealed. Kyle made a huge mistake. Eventually led to them getting divorced, and it's just like, that's a lot for anybody. But it's like when you're a teenager, when everything's changing and you're dealing with so much stress already. And she apologized afterwards. Again, what she had said, what Lana did, not okay. What Sarah said, not okay. Neither of them were in the right. Especially Sarah saying what she said just to hurt her mom. She didn't, like, she even said it. She even was told her afterwards she doesn't, she knows it's not true. It was just like the thing that is gonna hurt somebody. And when when emotions are high, you say things that you don't mean. And as a teenager, that happens a lot. You get into that state quite easily. And they both snapped. One just was more physical than the other. And it's gonna take some time to get past that. Like Sarah's with Kyle's help again with the conflict. Like one, there was the thing that Sarah again didn't tell Kyle the whole thing, but when he went over, he was, understandably upset that found out that his ex, struck their child. But he wasn't like talking over her, interrupting her all the time, and just like not letting her put forth any bit of to contribute to the conversation. Also, Lana didn't want to, so like she also, regardless of what she had said, like, and the fact that she had, regardless of the fact that she struck her daughter, she didn't want to like give more context as to what led her to a regrettable decision. But Kyle's insistent. I was like, I deserved to understand what happens. And when he found out, he, again, the fact of the matter that he found out, not something that I would necessarily do in the same episode of shows like on the CW a lot of times. Then when you talk to Sarah, he didn't full on blow up on her. He did still kind of like, well, he was upset that one, she didn't tell him the whole truth, and he also again still kind of let her talk, and still didn't belittle, or not necessarily belittle, but like undermine what Lana had done to that she had slapped her. He's still like, no, it doesn't make what she did right, but what you said wasn't right either, and you can't not accept any of the blame because both of y'all are wrong. Like you said this very hurtful thing and put these mistakes that I made onto her. So, and then again with the stuff with Clark and Lois, like it's a real thing or it was a very realistic thing of Clark going to the boys. Obviously they're they're arguing about a sweater. He comes in. He's like, are you guys insane? Are you kidding? Are you arguing about this right now after she just came back from chemo yesterday? Are you serious? Dude, guys, shut up. She needs time to heal. You guys need to not do this. If you're going to, maybe go somewhere else at the very least. And telling them, don't bother your mother today. If there's anything, I don't know if he said, if there's anything, come to me. But he, point is, he said, don't bother your mother. She needs to heal. She can't have anything on her plate right now. Which is, something that a lot of spouses would do. So, they would do, especially if they're going through any kind of cancer treatment, they're just like, okay, they need a rest. Do not bother them. Just stuff like that. Just like, don't come to them with any of your problems. Just leave them be. And then her finding out. Also, like we saw with the conversation that John and Clark were having, and she comes in. She obviously noticed them acting very differently, or acting strangely, and very evidently, kind of, like I said before, treading on eggshells around her. And not wanting to tell her what's going on. But when she finds out, not happy about what Clark had said, and there was again a conversation. It's like, I'm sorry, I wanted to make I didn't want them to bother you. I wanted you to rest. And her going into like, this is exactly how she didn't want them to treat her, and the fact that she's their mother, this is what she does. She wants to be there for her kids no matter what. He apologized, and he also admitted to the boys that he was wrong to have them not bother her with any issues. So just all of that, real good. The stuff with Sam at the end, with Sam and Jordan. Again, another thing that is a realistic, even though frustrating thing with when Jordan's like, you don't know what it's like to be a hero, or however he said it. It's like, I mean, he's a he's a military hero, and he saved a lot of lives in his time. So another hurtful thing to say out of frustration and a sense of unfairness, as little as something as being effectively forced to get your haircut. Again, not a huge deal. And even someone like Jordan is like, if you want to be a hero, just gotta cut your hair so that it's not a distinctive feature. But yeah, it was just like, oh, come on, this is how I want to look. And he blew up on Sam in a very similar way to Sarah. Not as well. Sam didn't, wasn't as hurtful as Lana. But yeah, it was not great. But Clark finds out. Lois and Clark find out, confront him about it. He apologizes sincerely. He at least said it was wrong, and he knew that it was hurtful, and it wasn't true. And Sam, what I really loved was him saying, you know, what, not gonna lie, kid, what you said hurt my feelings, and, you know, some time ago, I wouldn't have admitted that, but, you know, here we are. I just love, like, even in, like, the beginning, I loved Sam. You know, I loved him way more. I mean, I loved him, and I wasn't expecting to. I was like, Sam, here we go again, being Sam. And I was like, you know, I actually kind of like him, even though there were still moments of, like, some frustration. It's like, this is not how you treat the kids. And then, like, the family, like, this isn't, you know, Clark needs to also be a father and a husband. But his growth still is, like even admitting, like, again, hurt his feelings. This kid said something that hurt his feelings, but he, you know, the fact that even if it wasn't a kid, a lot of times, you know, someone maybe admit that. So it's really cool having that moment as well. Like, of one, Jordan apologizing to Sam, and Sam admitting that he had hurt his feelings. So it's really cool. Sorry, a lot of rant on the family things, but it's like I love how they do it in the show. It's just not a common thing in the CW. Moving on. Well, kind of onto a different kind of family stuff. So, Darlene, Dr. Irons. I'm assuming what happened with the other John Henry, not Jonathan. It's just John Henry. What happened to him was that he was forced into working with Bruno because he threatened his family, I'm going to assume. And rather than tell them that he's forcing them, probably that might have been a stipulation. It was like, don't tell them that they're in danger, that, you know, we're coercing, that we're forcing you. Because he apparently did, because this had to have been something he had in place already. Especially since they're all in New Orleans, he already knew about the family, so assumedly he already knew about them. And I guess he maybe tried to confront Bruno himself, and that led him to being killed. Again, no sign of onomatopoeia this episode. But I will say, Darlene handled, finding out about another Earth John, handled it pretty well. All things considered, she, one, in fact, believed him, but, there is the benefit of the fact that they saw a literal cube sun in the sky, and, the whole sensation of, Earths merging, and the realization there was another Earth. So, that helps make his story believable. So I'm really glad that they did that, because, look, I wouldn't have remembered, and I would have understood, regardless of if she didn't leave. But, I'm glad that because of that, happening, it was much more believable. But, and then, of course, having been so close to John before, it's painful, especially with your last memory, your last thing, thinking, sorry, your memory of him kind of being tainted because you think he, by choice, sold weapons to Bruno Mannheim. So, and also, again, they were close, and he wound up, and he died. So it's just like, it's really hard seeing, someone who's not really your brother, not technically your brother, and have them in your life. So, I understand her reaction to that. Now, Emmitt. Real piece of work, that guy. Now, I know they're maybe he is doing it to try to take care of his daughter and himself. And I get that. But, you're gonna, punch this kid real big at you, threaten somebody with a gun when they're completely unarmed, and think that you're this bigger, better person. But man, oh baby, first off, when Clark found out that he punched his kid, I was like, oh no! It was already. Oh, first off, when Lois was found out, that was great. She was amazing. She was not. She's faced way worse, way more threatening people than that guy. he doesn't know that. Well, he might. I'm sure he knows that she's been in some situations, but this guy thinking that he can threaten or that he can intimidate Lois Lane. What an idiot. It really hurt seeing, the after effect, definitely seeing the exertion. That hurt. I'd seen that before, and that sucks. He even after showing the gun, she like gets closer in his face. There's no hesitation or fear. The only kind of thing that the hesitation was telling Jonathan and Jordan to stay in the car, and basically, that they're getting ready to go. But she just gets right in his face. She's like, men like you don't scare me. Don't come near my family again. Clark finds out about the son, about him punching his son, and then threatening Lois with a gun. Oh no. That was terrifying but so satisfying. It's a bit worrisome. It's like, okay, Clark, you don't want to showboat or showcase too much of your hidden strength and whatnot. But it's like, I also really want him to. But it was so funny. I forgot what he was saying, but he was, he went to go shove Clark and he didn't move, and he just kind of basically bounced off him almost. In that moment when he first walked in, Lana's like, "You okay?" Nope, and just went in, and then they'll kind of like the quiet conversation, but I already heard about it. It's like, you punched my son, you threatened my wife with a gun, held her at gunpoint. We're gonna have a talk outside. I don't want to do this here, especially in front of his daughter. And, then he freaking went nuts and tried to do something about it. Not Clark, obviously. Emmitt. Didn't win that. Talked some sense into him a bit. So he just left. See, here's the thing about that. Here's the thing about trying to take care of it, which I'll accept that he was trying to take care of them as well. He was trying to take care of himself, I feel like, more. But again, that's all Candice had this whole time. Which I feel terrible for her having to go through this whole thing at all. But he just left. Didn't take any consideration to his daughter. That's it. There was no hesitation. I was like, should I at least consider talking to my daughter about coming with me? No, I'm just gonna go. And it's so funny that, as unimposing as Clark has portrayed himself to be in Smallville, and I'm assuming Emmitt knows how kind of unassuming he appears at times. Personality-wise, because even personality-wise, even considering his personality and his kind of timidness at times, in that sweater you can tell Clark's a big guy, and he's tall. So you're not gonna out-muscle him at the very least. But yeah, Clark intimidated enough to just be like, yeah, sure, okay, I'll be gone. But how Clark, basically ended that conversation with after saying, I'm coming for you, or I'll come for you. My wife will expose you, to show the world who you really are, basically, or not the world, but you know what I mean. So, it was more so like, my wife's got the gun power. I'm just here to deliver that message, of course. Even though it was very evident that he could have done more than just deliver a message. But yeah, it was very satisfying. I'm really glad he's hopefully gone. I feel bad again for Candice, because again, as she had stated, that's all she had. That's all who she had. In terms of family, blood family. I guess I don't know what happened to Mom. Mom either died or left. I don't remember what she had said. But she seems to have taken the news well about Jonathan, and Liza. Don't know how long it's been. No, it was probably, I think this is the day after. Or it had been the day after. No. This has all happened within a day, I just realized. Because Lois was resting, and it was was it just one day she was supposed to be resting? I can't remember. I think so. I think all this happened within a day. Regardless. So not too much time has passed since Jonathan told her. She seems to be okay. She was even worried about him and stuff, and I don't know. Like it did seem a little weird though after dinner or breakfast. Excuse me. Where they're leaving. She was leaving for work. I'm not sure if she's still if she's a little uncomfortable. Still hurt from finding out what happened with Liza. Or if it's mainly, kind of still feeling a little weird about being around the family and knowing that her dad had some conflict with her family, with their family. So it might just be that, but I don't know if it was something, if it was, any kind of residual emotion from the thing with Liza. Okay, and we also found out where they got the blood. So I wasn't sure. I was assuming like maybe it was like whenever he had gotten whenever he's gotten injured in combat, and when he's fighting somebody, and if maybe they have kryptonite or some other way to injure him, and maybe his blood's been picked up throughout, but it was because it was whenever he was basically humanized. Well, not humanized. You know what I'm trying to say. When his cells were damaged and he basically lost his powers, and just a human almost, they had drawn his blood then, and, to try to save him. Assumingly, like whenever he was still kind of comatose or at least unconscious for a while, and they kept it in case something like that ever happened again, which I understand. But yeah, it's not smart. Also, it's a risk, and he took care of it by just burning it. But somebody within the DoD gave it to Mannheim. Who, I'm trying to think, did we see somebody who we could assume was, I don't know. Assumingly we're going to be going into more of like trying to figure out who could have they apparently synthesized more, so that's what that is. They did synthesize more from a drop of his blood, which is crazy that they could do that. I mean, again, it doesn't seem to be perfect, so there's that. I don't know what their whole plan is, if it's just to give people powers, which was kind of what Ali did, and kind of what Tal was doing in the first season. So I don't know if we're doing. I have to assume that's not exactly what we're going for this season, because I mean, the writing has been so good. I have to believe that that's not what they're going for. At least as like maybe that'll be like mid-season stuff. I don't know, or maybe there is other plans for, again, just like the fact that they brought was it Henry back, right? What was his name? Henry Miller. I don't know. I'm not sure. But we at least know where it came from at the very least. We don't know who specifically did it, but we know it was from the DoD. And cool little thing, Clark's now bringing Jordan. Keep doing that. Jordan on missions. Trying to quell a forest fire. Telling him, he even left him to deal with it on his own. Start from the perimeter and work his way in. So, and out of it in the beginning, well, again, that kind of led to the whole trying to get his haircut. But we got a costume. We haven't seen the whole thing, but I just like the simple bit that we saw, like kind of like this just like a gray, and then like the way the inlining and the kind of texture that we sort of saw. And it's got a hood that's more for flying at the speeds that Jordan can. I'm curious to see if there's going to be a symbol, or if it's going to be more like just plain for the time being, so not to like sort of advertise that he's affiliated with Superman in any way, even though we can kind of see he's got similar abilities. But if he's caught on camera and he's not necessarily showing him using his abilities other than flight, that's something. And then we could just add a symbol later. I didn't think about it at first. I was just like, oh, cool, these aviator goggles, like, it's a nice touch. Does cover his face well, so he can still, it's like the way the lenses work, he still has good peripheral. And it just, at first, it reminded me of Spider-Man Noir, because, that's kind of what part of his mask was made of, his uncle's aviator goggles. World War II, I can't remember exactly what Uncle Ben in that one was. But I forgot until basically moments I said, "Oh, Spider Noir," and I was like, "Oh wait, version of Superboy's costume he's wearing goggles." I forgot about that. To kind of keep the wind, messing with his eyes. I think there were some iterations where like it kind of replicated laser vision. I think, but I do know that is a element of Superboy's costumes in certain versions. So that's cool. I'm very excited to see what the rest of the costume looks like, even if it's just kind of simple and like there's no any kind of logo yet. I'm just interested to see what it looks like. That's gotta be so cool. Getting your own costume. And he's like in here, right? What was he, 16? Right? They turned 16. Yeah. Okay. So that's so cool. So again, a great episode. Again, a lot of good family writing. Like again, this show has done the best with family writing, with family drama and all that stuff, and I feel like this was the best that they've done with that as well. Like the way they handled all of the elements, even like the stuff with that just came in with like Sam and Jordan. That was good, like handled well, and also believable how the way Jordan blew up over a haircut. That kind of thing is a very teenager thing to do. So really well done. Again, still not sure. I would assume that we have to look into who in the DoD would have given Bruno Clark's blood. And now we're having Lois. She's going to the hospital to be like in the middle and trying to suss out information. Bruno is apparently going to be involved with trying to figure out what she's here for, so they're going to be interacting directly. Because, he's a public figure, so he can be there. And oh my god, this is so stressful. Well, yeah, guys, that's it for this week's episode of Superman and Lois. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to stick around for the next episode, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Hopefully, I'll be able to get to that one sooner. This one was a real pain for some reason of it being available for me to watch it, so that was awesome. But yeah, hopefully we'll get to that soon, and see you then.